So hello everyone, hope you are doing well. I am Shivangi Sharoy and this is my first video, and today we will be building a real-time object identifier with camera to object as well as object to object distance estimator. So there are three parts of this program. In first part we are going to create an object identifier using SSD framework of deep neural network. In the second part we will be using Haar cascade classifier for frontal phase detection, and for the third part we are again going to use the same SSD framework of neural network and the concept of midpoint boxes to calculate the Euclidean distance between the two objects. So we can also use the YOLO framework instead of SSD MobileNet because YOLO is comparatively faster than SSD MobileNet. But coming to the accuracy, SSD is far more accurate. So we will be using SSD MobileNet here. So you can download all the required files, object class names, as well as the entire source code from the below description. And do like and subscribe if you find this video useful. So let's start with the implementation now. So now coming to the software installation part. So there are no such prerequisites actually. So we can just type PyCharm in any of our browser. And we can just click on download and we can just download this community version because this is open source and free. So I already have PyCharm downloaded in my system, so I'm not going to download it again. So you can just go to my GitHub link and you can see that there is the various files. Here you can just download it. So these are the files, the various files that are needed for the program. And there is a brief description about the working. So now going to the implementation part. This is the program here. So these are the packages that are needed to be installed and used. So these are already installed in my system. So in case if it is not installed for you, you can just import it. So this is the known distance. This is actually the distance, the initial distance that we are going to take. So first I will explain about the first part, that is the object detection part. So simply these are the various colors defined here and the various fonts. So this is the line which is actually capturing the frames. So here we can either use some predefined video. So like this, we can either insert a particular video, or if we are just going to keep the field value as 0, so it is going to use our webcam by default. This is the Haar cascade file here, so it will detect our frontal face. So after that, this part is for inserting the Coco names file. So we are using the Coco names dataset actually. So you can read about it. You just need to type and you can just read about it. So it is having around 80 object classes that can be identified. So coming back to the program here. So we are going to insert the Coco file here, or we can just manually define the various object classes. So coming to the next part. So we are actually using a protobuf file. So protobuf file which contains the pre-trained model and including the graph definition, the weights of the model and the configuration paths also. So threshold is actually defined. You can see here the threshold value actually is defined. The threshold value is kept as 0.5, and all the objects having a threshold value above 0.5, for them the bounding box will be formed and further object detection will be done, and for the objects having a threshold value lower than 0.5 will be ignored directly. So for this purpose we are defining the threshold value. So this part is for if you are willing to get the output in form of a video. So you can just eliminate it if you want. Then coming to the while loop here. So The purpose of this while loop is for just for capturing the video while it can detect some objects. So if it is not identifying or detecting any object, then simply it is just going to close the camera. So it is capturing the video here, and the threshold value is given for our detection model. So this is the class ID thing, and the confidence scores, and the bounding boxes. So coming to this part, so there is something called the NMS boxes. So I will explain about NMS boxes now. So we can see that in this particular image, we can observe that the various object classes are identified, but for this cup thing, this particular cup thing, we can see that it is being identified as a cup as well as a bowl. So such overlapping boxes causes object detection ambiguity actually. So coming to a vector example here. Yeah, so here we can see that there is a phone and a remote, but the phone is identified both as a cell phone and a remote, and same thing is happening with the remote. So there are overlapping bounding boxes, which is not at all desirable. So therefore NMS is used, which is non-maximum suppression. So we can also see this particular car image. So there are two rectangular boxes. So initially the NMS threshold was defined as 0.2 as I told, and all the boxes having lower threshold are obviously ignored, and the remaining boxes, the boxes having the highest, the single box having the highest threshold value will be kept, and rest all the other non-maximum threshold boxes will be suppressed by using NMS. So this is how NMS actually works. So I will continue with the program. So this part we are actually creating the bounding box here. And now this part is going to identify each of the objects. So we can see an example here. So in this particular image, we can see that here the person is getting detected, and it is having a confidence score of 64% here. And there is a teddy bear in my back, and this teddy bear behind me is getting detected, and the confidence ratio is 61%. And even my cell phone is getting detected with a good confidence score here of 73%. So this is how our object identifier will look like. Coming back to the program. So now we will be implementing the second part here. So this particular image describes about the second part. So this is the reference image that I have taken. So I'm actually sitting at a distance of 30 inches away from the camera, and that is a measuring tape in my hand to measure a distance of 30 inches from the camera. Also I measure the width of my face, which approximately came out to be as 5.7 inches. So these two parameters are predefined as known distance and known width that we are going to use in the program. And the width in image is another parameter that is needed to be found for the focal length. So for this, the face detector is created using Haar gasket classifier for frontal face detection, and the face is being detected in pixels, and this value is actually given to the focal length. So focal length is actually the distance between the camera lens and the CMOS sensor inside the camera. So we can see these are two main formulas here. So the focal length is calculated using these parameters as shown, and the focal length is given to the distance formula with other parameters. So simply we can say that this reference image is the initial image, or maybe the position of object for which the initial two parameters were defined, and rest all other parameters were calculated. So we can say that when we are moving from that position, all the parameters are actually getting recalculated. So maybe we are just moving a bit away from the camera, our distance will increase, our face width will become smaller when we are moving away from the camera, and various other parameters in the maybe the focal length module, the face detector module, or maybe the distance measuring module, all the parameters will be re-evaluated parallelly inside the while loop. So this is actually the working theory of our second part. So coming to the program, here we can see that this part, this known distance, is actually used for the distance, the initial distance, the reference image that we have taken. So this is the distance from the camera to the object, that is the object in front of the camera, and this is my face width approximately, and these are in inches. And after that, we are using this Haar Cascade frontal face classifier here. So this is again a pre-trained model here. So this is the focal length thing. So this is the focal length module. So this is the formula that I just discussed about. So this is the width in the reference image. So this thing will be in pixel, that is going to be detected using the face detector. And this is the major distance, that is initially it was given as 30 inches. And this is the real width. This is the face width. You can just calculate your maybe your distance from the camera. You can just take a reference image and you can just calculate your distance from the camera using maybe a measuring tape and your face width, and you can just put it in here in this part. So that is just for the sake of initialization, and this thing is going to return as a focal length. So when the focal length is found, so we are going to put this particular focal length thing in this module here, and again this formula is actually used. So the real face width is used along with the focal length that we got from the focal length calculated, and then the face width in the frame. So this is the formula that we can use to calculate the distance from the camera to the object which is having facial features, and this is going to return as a distance. So after that, there is this face detector created. So this is the face detector we created, and we can see that here in this part. So for this part, this is actually some labels created. So I will just show you how it will actually look like. So it will look like this. So this is the place where the distance from the camera to the object will be displayed. So it will be displayed like this. So I will just demonstrate it in some time. So after that, we can get this parameters from this particular function. So this particular function will return us these parameters, and this can be further again reused. So this second part will actually look like this. I'll just show you. Yeah. So we can see that it is, as usual, it is detecting the various object classes here, as well as it is detecting my distance from the camera. This is because this particular object, that is the person, is having this facial features here as described by Haar Cascade classifier. So now coming back to the program. So this is the third part of our program. So as usual, it is going to capture the image from the camera, and it is going to take the length of the bounding boxes. So we are going to use the same bounding box as our first part, because for this part also we are using neural network. So this is the part which actually displays the number of objects that are present in the frame, and these are the lists that are going to contain the midpoint values that are getting calculated. And I will just use an example just for the sake of understanding. So we can see that here in this image there are two objects getting detected, and there is a bottle and there is a remote. The bottle is having a very good confidence score of 0.8, that is 80%, and the remote is not having a very good confidence score here. It is only having a confidence score of 51%, but it's fine because still it is getting detected as a remote, so it's fine because it's correct. So what is happening here is this is the rectangular box, and the midpoint is actually calculated diagonally. So the midpoint is calculated, and the distance between two midpoints are actually found using Euclidean distance. So we are actually finding the Euclidean distance between two objects. So here we can see that the distance between two objects is 36.5 centimeters. So this is actually the actual idea of the third part here. So here these are the four corners we are defining for the bounding box, and here the midpoint is calculated and it is appended in the list which is going to hold the midpoint values. In this part we can see that, so it tells that the midpoint is going to have a red colored circle here because of the value here, and this rectangular is also going to be red in color. So this is the bounding box. So you can see that it's in red color. And there is here we are actually calculating the Euclidean distance here in this part. And this is if there is two objects identified. So if there are two objects getting identified in the camera frame, so it is going to calculate the Euclidean distance between them. And if there is lesser number of objects, so maybe in this case, so we can see that only one object is there, so obviously it is not going to calculate any distance between two objects because we need at least two objects for that. So it will just simply show the distance as 0. And one more condition is applied, that is this part. So this part is actually used if maybe for an application where we want to detect if maybe social distancing is maintained or not. So if you want, then you can just eliminate this part. So if the distance between two objects is lesser than 25 centimeters, so it is going to pop up this move away thing, this move away text. So I will demonstrate it in some time. And this is how the program is going to work. So now we will be demonstrating the actual working. So our working will be similar to this part. Here you can see. So here we can see that the distance between Stark and Cap is identified. It came out to be 82.9 centimeters. So actually the Euclidean distance is calculated. And they are identified as person. So maybe Cap is looking more like a person than Stark, with the confidence score of 72% here. And also the individual distance from the camera is calculated. So we can see that Stark is a bit near to the camera compared to Cap. So this is actually the overall working here. So now I will be giving a live demonstration of the working. So now we are going to run this particular program here. So now we can see that these two things are getting detected. One is the bottle and one is the cell phone, in which there is a human-like face in the image. So for that, it is detecting the cell phone as well as the face, and the distance between two are measured. So it is showing this move away thing because it is the Euclidean distance is actually coming lower than 25 centimeters, as I told. That for the Euclidean distance lesser than 25 centimeters, it is going to show this pop-up. So when I will just move this thing, so now no such pop-ups are there because it is the distance between them is more than 25 centimeters. It is detecting the distance between them, and also it shows that two objects are identified and the correct classes of objects are also identified. So it shows that the phone is identified as a cell phone and the bottle is identified as a bottle here. So this was the demonstration here.